Midterm Rentals Investor Guide 2024. Tenants to target, top markets, financing options, and more. Are you interested in 2024's hot new real estate investing strategy of midterm rentals or medium-term rentals, but unsure about where to start or how to maximize your investment? Look no further. Our comprehensive Midterm Rentals Investor Guide for 2024 is here to provide you with the latest insights on the best markets, financing options, and the most promising tenants to target. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with the knowledge and tools to make informed decisions and elevate your midterm rental business to new heights. So buckle up and get ready to dive deep into the exciting world of midterm rentals. What are midterm rentals? Midterm rentals, or also commonly referred to as medium-term rentals, are residential investment properties typically under leases that run more than a month but less than a year. Generally, most long-term rentals or standard single-family rentals have leases with a 12-month term. Additionally, what are typically referred to as short-term rentals are rented for less than 30 days, typically only a few days at a time. These are generally vacation rentals or properties primarily listed on platforms such as Airbnb or VRBO. Midterm rentals are the in-between, rented typically under a lease agreement that's 30 days or more, but not under leases as long as the full standard year. Typical midterm rental terms are a couple months, generally in the 1 to 6 month range. Why invest in midterm rentals? Many real estate investors are finding that the medium-term rental investing strategy is the Goldilocks zone for real estate. Real estate investors are constantly balancing the risk and reward of investment choices, with more potential revenue from riskier strategies, but also more potential pitfalls. For example, short-term rentals generally earn about twice as much as properties leased under standard 12-month agreements. However, the risks are generally greater. For example, short-term rentals are more exposed to changing market conditions, frequent turnover, and more regulatory changes. Long-term rentals are generally less risky. However, locking in tenants at full-year terms typically means much less in rental revenue and cash flow, which can be a hefty price to pay for the lowering of risk. Some of the ways that medium-term rentals are just right for maximizing the risk-reward balance in real estate investing include revenue and cash flow. In the current real estate environment, where values continue to hold up and appreciation is still the rule, but interest rates on investment property loans are still somewhat elevated, it continues to be a challenge to generate cash flow on rental properties. While the risk is less when investors lock in long-term leases, in many markets, the monthly DSCR ratio, measure of cash flow, struggles to be positive for investors. Midterm rentals are increasingly a preferred solution because while they don't typically earn twice as much or more like short-term rentals, there still tends to be higher rents for medium-term stays, allowing properties to provide cash flows on rental properties without the outsized risk and expertise required for STRs. Less vacancy than short-term rentals. One of the biggest downsides to short-term rental investing is the constant turnover. More hospitality than residential real estate investing, the outsized rents that make STRs so lucrative often come with the hassle and full-time investment of constant tenant turnover. Some investors scale short-term rentals successfully, but this often means that managing your STR portfolio becomes near a full-time job, or you hire a property management company that takes a big bite out of your profits. One of the reasons many STR investors have switched to midterm rentals or added a few MTRs to their portfolio is the still solid cash flows with turnover only a handful of times per year, often a best of both worlds solution. Regulatory risk, 30-day okay? Perhaps the biggest advantage of midterm rentals over the short-term rental option is much lower regulatory risk, or risk of ever-changing legal restrictions that could jeopardize your ability to run your STR in short order. Since short-term rentals are still a relatively new phenomenon in most markets, the rules, regulations, and restrictions in many markets are still being developed, debated, and changed. However, almost every market that imposes restrictions on real estate investors pursuing the STR strategy doesn't affect properties with leases 30 days or more. So in essence, if your properties are run as medium-term rentals with minimum stays of 30 days, most of the constant regulatory worry that comes with short-term rental investing melts away.
Who are the tenants for midterm rentals? Travel nurses. The profession of travel nurses became well known in the last few years as the COVID pandemic dramatically increased the number of nurses that traveled to hospitals throughout the country where there was the greatest need. Many nurses flocked to the role as demand and pay soared, and were likely at least somewhat behind the surge in the popularity of the medium-term rental strategy. Are travel nurses still common in 2024? Well, while there has certainly been cutbacks as the COVID era has ended, the numbers of travel nurses remain strong. Additionally, there were approximately 50,000 U.S. travel nurses pre-pandemic, which is still a healthy number of potential tenants for midterm rental investment properties. Over the past few years, the travel nursing industry is estimated to have grown by a whopping 600%. Even if the total number stabilizes back near pre-pandemic levels, travel nurses make up a huge pool of tenants that specifically need rental units that can cater to leases shorter than 12 months and greater than a typical Airbnb. Many of the most successful midterm rentals are nice properties situated nearby major hospital systems, a typical recipe for medium-term rental success. Film and theater companies. Another great source of tenants for medium-term rentals are the cast and crew of movie projects or traveling performers. Large budget and even small budget movies can command hundreds of people. Actors, crew members, and tons of specialists and workers that make projects run. Many states in recent years have significantly invested in tax breaks and incentives to draw movie making to their states, expanding the industry outside of its traditional home in California. Because many of these states are new to the movie industry, a lot of the people involved in production must come from out of town. Many people needing accommodations for a few months of production. Savvy real estate investors can target these states, such as Georgia, Louisiana, and Illinois, to take advantage of this tenant niche. Additionally, since the lifting of lockdowns that threw a wrench in many live performance industries, such as plays and orchestras, the reopening of large gathering spaces have spurred a resurgence in traveling shows. Many theater troupes are no longer confined to traditional markets like Broadway in New York City. These make up another source of potential midterm rental tenants. Interns. As return-to-office policies continue to define America's white-collar work scene, in-person internships are making a comeback. Many college students covet and earn internships with employers in the summer months, often in cities separate from their hometowns and college settings. These interns, often given housing stipends from employers, are great potential moneymakers for medium-term rental investors. Additionally, there has been a trend of more college students getting internships earlier in their academic careers. For example, after freshman year or sophomore year, instead of just the traditional post-junior timeline. Other trends include internships that aren't just in the summer months. They are growing in the fall and spring as well. College interns look to be another solid source of midterm rental tenants. In-between homes. An often overlooked tenant source for medium-term rentals are people in between homes. One of the biggest motivations to move is when a family grows and runs short on space, needing to relocate to a bigger home. However, timing a sale and a purchase of a new property is easier said than done, and there can be a month or two, including unexpected extensions, between selling a home and being able to move into the new digs. Often, these families can't fit their lives into tiny hotel rooms or afford the high rates of Airbnbs for months at a time. Enter midterm rentals. A fully furnished medium-term rental investment property can serve these tenants and earn solid returns. Digital nomads. Digital nomads are people who have jobs that allow them to work from home or work without being tied to a specific physical office. The 2020s have seen a significant rise in this lifestyle. Thus, these digital nomad professionals, able to work anywhere with just their laptop, are perfect tenants for medium-term rentals. While the work-from-home trend may have slowed in the years following 2020 and 2021, it is still massively increased and not going away. Midterm rental investors that specialize in offering properties tailored to the needs of these knowledge workers should see sustained success in the future. Professional athletes. Professional athletes often don't have a choice in where they play, or at least early in their careers. Many athletes are drafted and sent to a city far from their hometown or college. Additionally, while professional athletes may eventually earn a contract to play in the city of their choice, many are often at the mercy of a highly competitive market, with geography rarely under their control. While many athletes will purchase homes in the cities they play in, professional sports seasons are often only a portion of the year, and team turnover is high, so many have a permanent home base in one city, and then spend months at a time at different other spots. As such, professional athletes make great tenants for medium-term rental investors. With often lucrative salaries and needs for 4 or 5 month terms, these can be lucrative moneymakers for mid-term rental property owners. Smartly investing in a niche catering to athletes, perhaps properties or units close to team facilities and stadiums and athlete-tailored amenities, could achieve big success in the mid-term rental niche. Additional tenant types. Many midterm niches. There are surprisingly many types of tenants that need 30 to 90-day stays, the typical medium-term tenant lease length, in addition to the tenant types listed above. More midterm tenant options include corporate professionals traveling to branches for projects or training assignments. They can include medical patients needing to relocate for complicated procedures to top specialist hospitals in faraway markets. They can also include displaced people from natural disasters or areas prone to flooding or hurricanes. Finally, they can include people spending a few months months out of the year in sunny climates that contrast with their main homes. Think snowbirds that travel to Florida during winter months from the East Coast or Midwest, or the opposite, such as Texans that flock to Colorado or Utah in the scorching summer months.
Where to list midterm rentals. Furnish Finder is typically the first option for real estate investors listing their midterm rentals. It is a dedicated website that is solely focused on the midterm rental space and has great infrastructure for hosts. This platform boasts an average of over 30,000 users per day and is a great choice for investors that want to go all in on medium-term leases. Airbnb is another common choice for midterm rental investors to list their properties. While this platform is famous for short-term rentals and typically features properties aimed at short stays or experiences, a good portion of the listings are focused on the midterm rental guest experience as well. Airbnb is a great option for real estate investors that want to fully optimize revenues and booking strategy. Shifting between short-term stays and medium-term stays can be a great strategy for some. This type of hybrid medium-term rental and short-term rental strategy is ideal for investors in seasonal markets or cities that are host to several gigantic events per year. Austin, Texas is a great example of a city that is suited for this hybrid strategy. With big travel times such as South by Southwest Festival, Austin City Limits Music Festival, Formula One race weekends, and big college football Saturdays featuring the hometown Texas Longhorns. Savvy investors will often place their properties available for short stays around these events while pursuing the midterm rental strategy during months when the calendar is less packed with crowded events. For these investors, a listing platform optimized for different stay lengths like Airbnb or Vrbo is perfect. Corporate Housing by Owner, or CHBO, is a recently launched platform not only specializing in the midterm rental niche, but within the niche, aimed primarily at corporate travelers. Differentiation is key to the medium-term rental space, and picking a specific niche such as corporate tenants can be a successful strategy. For investors in large metro areas that attract a lot of business travel, this booking platform may be the best choice versus the other platforms that cater to a more generalized audience. Financing midterm rentals. A common problem for real estate investors pursuing new and innovative strategies is finding financing that works. Many such traditional lenders, such as banks and conventional mortgage brokers, are very slow to adapt to trends. Many lenders still want to see qualification based on personal income and DTI ratios, or are only comfortable with the traditional long-term rental, 12-month lease at reduced rates. While more and more lenders are embracing short-term rentals, medium-term rentals can still be challenging for some lenders, even non-QM DSCR lenders that specialize in financing rental properties. Luckily, Easy Street Capital is an innovative and forward-thinking lender that loves to work with investors on the cutting edge. We certainly understand that in 2024, with interest rates stubbornly high yet values making cash flow tenuous, creative strategies such as midterm rental leasing are key to success. At Easy Street, our leading DSCR loan program is flexible and forward-thinking. The leader in short-term rental loans, this flexibility expands to medium-term rentals as well. What sets our medium-term rental loans apart from the other extremely hard-to-find options? No 12-month leases required. If refinancing a midterm rental and are in between leases or under a medium-term stay, there is no issue qualifying. Purchasing qualification. Using common sense, we will utilize a judgment-based underwriting and rent qualification for purchasers planning on using the midterm rental strategy. The property's comparables are typically utilized as short-term rentals. We are comfortable utilizing AirDNA projections with a haircut based on experience and the individual situation. No DTI, no tax returns, no income verification. Our DSCR loans are defined by flexibility and ease. Qualification in the mortgage process does not require a W-2 job history or personal income ratios. If you are making the jump to full-time real estate investor in the medium-term rental niche, there are no obstacles to qualify. Top markets for midterm rentals.
Home to the University of Texas at Austin, the state's flagship university, it attracts many visitors needing medium-length stays, such as students studying for a single semester or summer classes, or visiting professors. It's a growing business sector, particularly in technology and real estate. It also attracts many interns and corporate travelers. Finally, as the live music capital of the world, it can be a home base for musicians setting up shop for a month or two to settle in at one of the city's plethora of venues. San Diego, California. This Southern California city was listed as the top destination for travel nurses in 2024. Travel nurses make up a leading tenant base for midterm rentals, so cities that see large demand for these visitors should be top of mind for any medium-term rental investor. San Diego features 30 hospitals in the city, and the state of California has a strong regulatory environment regarding working conditions that attract nurses from all over. If you are looking to target travel nurses for your midterm rental investment, San Diego could be a great option. Columbus, Ohio. Columbus is another great option for midterm rental investors. Like Austin, it boasts the state's flagship university, Ohio State, which attracts medium-term visitors connected to the university system. Additionally, for those that want to shift between STR and MTR, Ohio State's athletics certainly draw visitors year-round, needing short stays, which could boost the income potential of midterm rentals in the city in certain seasons. Additionally, Columbus features an expanding medical infrastructure, 5 Fortune 500 companies, and is the capital of Ohio, which brings legislators from across the state for medium-length stays to Columbus. All in all, Columbus is uniquely positioned to target multiple medium-term renters and could be a great option for investors. Ready to purchase and need financing to secure your financial future with a midterm rental investment property? Talk to one of our loan specialists about lending options today. Apply for a midterm rental loan today.